All right. Good. Well, I guess it's not morning anymore. It's actually afternoon. It's about 1:15 my time. A brother in the Lord who just signed up for ride sharing for Uber and Lyft asked me to do a live stream as far as what I do in witnessing for Jesus Christ to my passengers, as well as just overall ride sharing tips. And so I think first what I'd like to do, because that brother's here in chat now. Hey Justin. I'm very glad that you did make the decision to do this, and I realize that this type of job is not going to be for everyone, but for those who have the flexibility to drive, and you have to enjoy driving. I mean, there's just no other way around that. You have to enjoy driving. For me, driving is calming. It's peaceful. I love to drive, especially when I have either pickups or drop-offs in areas of town that I don't normally go to, that are like out in the hills. For me, it's like just a beautiful drive. And it also helps me get to know the areas a lot better. I've learned some shortcuts along the way that help save in time. And of course, your navigation in the different apps will try to help route you the best way. You will find yourself in situations where your passengers will say, I know the navigation's going to tell you to go this way, but I'd like you to just go the way that I tell you. I usually always go by their instructions, because they know the area a lot better than I do. And sometimes the navigation, you will find, Justin, sometimes the navigation is going to be dead wrong. It will lead you to like the back of a building, or it'll lead you to an alley. The nice thing about Uber and Lyft is, if you get there to pick up a passenger and you don't see them, you can always call. Uber has the option, you could text your passenger and just say, hey, I'm here. They have some pre-programmed things in that you can just click, like I have arrived, and a few other things. But there's also the option to just text them, hey, I'm parked in the parking lot, I'm front of Starbucks coffee, give the color of your car. Especially when you're picking up like at an event location, like a concert or something, and there's just like tons of cars, tons of people. Uber does really good to let you navigate your passengers to you. And while I'm thinking about it, how Uber does, well, Lyft does this too. And what you're going to find, if you drive for both, and I highly recommend that you do, that's because if it's slow on one, if you have both apps open, the other one may have requests coming in, and then that way you're not spending so much downtime, just sitting in a parking lot or something. And you want to try to maximize dead miles, okay? Usually what I do is, after I drop somebody off, if I'm in a residential neighborhood, I try to find some place where it's shaded, so I'm not just like baking in the heat. I always keep my air conditioning on, and if it's not too cold in the winter time, I sometimes might have to keep my heat on. Just keep that in mind, like with air conditioning and gas and all of that. I try to find a shaded place. Like right now, I'm in a parking lot under a tree, basically. Okay. You only have to wait 5 minutes. And if your passenger does not show up, as long as you don't leave that general area, you can collect your $5. And Uber does it a little bit differently. Sometimes you don't get quite $5, but Lyft across the board, $5 for just, random requests. Now, if it's a scheduled ride and you've accepted it, and it'll tell you this is a scheduled ride between, pick up between like 11:10 and 11:20 a.m. If they don't show up, that's automatically $10 to you. So, and I've had several I've had to cancel. Now, with Uber, your 5 minutes starts 2 minutes before you arrive, and it's all based on the navigation. The passenger is notified when you're 2 minutes out. Now, when you get there, Uber actually charges wait time. The first 2 minutes, that's like included in their base fare. But once those first 2 minutes expire, you'll see the clock turn a different color. They are charged for every second that you are waiting. Now, when you've waited an additional 3 minutes, at that point, when those 3 minutes run down, it's a total of 5 minutes, you can then, if you want, I've stopped doing this. I'm not people's babysitters. I text them, I have arrived. If they're not there, or they haven't, text me, hey, I'll be right down, or I'll be right there, I'm walking towards you or something. Once those additional 3 minutes is up, I click no show and I move on, because time is money. This is my business. You don't want to just be waiting around, for all these additional minutes, because you're not going to get paid that much for it. So, do utilize your 5 minutes. Now with Lyft, they do make you call, and you can call right in the app. Usually what I do is I call, I let it ring one time, and I hang up, because I'm not their babysitters. I'm not going, I go out of my way to a degree, but they're notified 2 minutes out. And then you do have to wait a full 5 minutes. Even, this is with Lyft, even though they've notified them 2 minutes out. When that timer counts down to 0, yes, you do have to technically call. I let it ring one time, I hang up, I go back into the app, and I click no show. And then I move on. And, some people, Justin, you can do that however you want. You can let the phone ring, 5 times. And if they pick up, you can just say, hey, I'm here. I'm going to be, canceling this. If you're not here and ready to go, it's really up to you. You call with, yes, you have to call with Lyft. Now Uber, if I'm thinking of it correctly, just by memory, they're notified 2 minutes out, and that starts your 5 minute countdown. And then they will be charged for the wait time for the last 3 minutes of those 5 minutes. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. And then a thing will pop up, once those last 3 minutes count down, it will say cancel if the passenger is not here. I don't believe Uber doesn't make you call them. And so if they're not there by the time that those last 3 minutes counts down, I click, and there'll be some options that you can choose as far as why you're canceling, but it'll be able to see that you've waited the full 5 minutes, and so then you'll get paid for the no-show, basically. Okay. Really quickly, I think what I'll do, Justin, let me show you the inside of my car and how I have designed my car. Okay. Now, you don't have to do everything that I do. Use your own likes and dislikes. I know you told me that you bought waters. I'll show you the kind of waters that I got. You want to keep your expense down as much as possible. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me turn this around. Okay. you want a phone mount. This is the phone mount that that I have, because you have to drive hands-free. My husband takes care of some of this stuff. We order most of our things through Amazon Prime. Okay. So you want a phone mount, and they make all different kinds of phone mounts. So depending on your car and what you think is going to work best for you, get a phone mount. And of course, my phone, the Bluetooth is like connected right into my stereo here. And so, like when you're because you will get passengers call you. And so then, like on my steering wheel, I can, just click this. And so then that way I'm hands-free as much as possible. Okay. So, I have, an air freshener. You could buy these. I got this one at Walmart, and then I got, another pack of like 3, so that when this one runs out, I like to have the air fresheners. I hate to say it this way, Justin, but you are going to get stinky passengers. Okay. I had 2 yesterday. And I had to spray out my car. Let me show you. Okay. This is my personal cubby here. So I got a hairbrush, because sometimes, the wind is blowing really bad, and it like just messes my hair all up. Okay. I got this at Walmart. Got a package of 2. And the little ones that go on here, it like the same scent, but they've got like numerous different scents. So I've got that. I suggest you get energy drinks, have a couple in your car. I have my coffee, I've got my energy drinks, baby wipes. Some of this stuff you can get at Dollar Tree. Sometimes your hands will get dirty. Baby wipes are good to like wipe down your interior, because believe me, Justin, they will give you 1 star. One time somebody rated me 1 star because I had an empty cup in my trash can. Okay. And a lint roller. You want a lint roller. You cannot deny passengers who have dogs. Okay. Now, it's supposed to be service animals, but sometimes your passengers will call you and say, hey, I've got a dog. Like yesterday, they called me and said, hey, I've got 2 dogs, they're lap dogs. And I said, that's fine. Carry a blanket or a sheet, and then you could put the sheet down in your back seat, so that way you don't have like a whole bunch of dog hair. But get a lint roller in case, lint or hair or something, because these are really good to get up you know what I mean. Okay, so Ozium, you've got to have Ozium. Now, I don't know if you're a smoker, but if you are a smoker, keep your car non-smoking. Okay. What I do, so I don't lock myself out, is when and I do this all throughout the day, I take my keys and I step out of the car, I close the door, and I have my cigarette. I usually just have like a few puffs, and then I put it out. And because I'm a smoker, that's what I do. But Ozium, and Dustin is Driving is who told his subscribers. Ozium is really, really good. It's an air sanitizer. It cleans the air you breathe, eliminates smoke and malodors. This you can get at Walmart as well. And you can look at Dollar Tree at some of their air fresheners. They do have these little guys too. I don't know how good they are. I just went to Walmart to get this. So you want Ozium, and then you probably want some kind of Febreze, okay? And then I got these at Dollar Tree, just little trash bags, because I've got a trash bag up here for me, basically, for when I have trash. And then let me show you, so that like takes care of my personal little cubby here. I have a lunchbox. I bring my own lunch. I try to eliminate as much cost as I can, but like If it's midway through the afternoon and I still have 6 hours and I've drunk all my coffee, yeah, I'll go through McDonald's and get my favorite coffee. But I do try to pack my lunch. In the summertime, make sure you have, here, I'll just show you here really quick. I got this on Amazon because I wanted something that was really good and insulated. I'm like on this cheese and crackers kick right now, so I've got these little guys. Just remember at the end of the day when you go home, put these back in the freezer, and so then I've got just my regular stuff in here, that I can munch on throughout the day. Okay. So let me grab my keys here. Now as far as waters, let me show you this, okay, because this is the back seat of my car here. And passengers almost cleaned me out yesterday. And I told them, because when they ask, I let them know these are free samples. Other drivers do different things, but because I have a business that I do, I have my bath and body business. I have like these samples that were just sitting at home, and I thought, okay, I want some kind of like little caddy. I'll probably make a little sign that says, free, please take one. I've got like my brochures in here. They took two, let's see. Oh, they took one of my CDs. I always try to give away my music. Somebody took one of my CDs because I had 3 in here. But this was like almost full. This is just, like my samples. But if you get snacks, you can get something like this. I got this on Amazon. And it also came with another trash can. And of course, I got the liners, and I put like Kleenex in here. And then I've got 4 waters here. This is the only place that I keep waters. You can get, and I like the small size versus the large size. And so I keep my waters there. So like you can get different snacky type stuff if that's what you want to do. Like at Dollar Tree, you could get, you don't want things that are going to be messy like chocolate or something, because then you'll get it all over your seats, and then it's really hard to wipe up. But get things that aren't going to be messy, that's not going to melt. Tic Tacs are good. And you can even do little gift packs like this if you want to. These little bags I get in the jewelry section at Walmart. And so what I have is I have like a coupon in here. I've got my business card. And there's a little piece of paper in here that just tells what the sample is and what fragrance it is. So you could be creative. You get 100 of these. This is like 3 by 5 size. 100 of these for $2 at Walmart. Okay. Barf bags. You want barf bags, Justin. Okay. Now the only barf I've had to clean up was my husband's, his very first night as a rideshare driver. He had a puker. These I got from Amazon. I don't remember how many came in a pack, but you want barf bags. If you don't buy specific barf bags like this, you save your bags when you go grocery shopping, and just have some in, okay? That is if you're going to be working nights, if you're going to be working the bar scene. I do that a little bit now. I don't drive past midnight. But that's totally up to you. And the floor mats I got, this one is it's like a runner. It goes all the way across. You probably want floor mats if you don't already have them. We both of our cars, the new cars, Quick Quack is a car wash system here in town. I don't know if they have Quick Quack where you live, but for both of our cars, $35 a month, unlimited. So I go in, tell them, I'm on the plan, and It's probably good at least every other day. Take your car through the car wash. You can have a little hand vac in your car if you want. Otherwise, if you go every day or every other day, they have the free vacuums. You just pull in and then you can, vacuum up any dirt that's, on your floorboards. Okay, now what I do in the trunk here.
Excuse me, you have my phone?
Yes, I do. Excuse me just a second. Passenger left their phone.
Thank God it was you.
Yes.
Somebody else found them. They're in the backseat or something. Yeah. There's like concert going on. I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, no.
All right, yeah. Thank you though.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so what I do in the back here, okay, I got these at Walmart. So I got a couple cases. I have like a little bin here. You can wipe towel to just wipe off like excess water when you go through the car wash. Blankets for like the back seat when you have animals. And then for ladies, that's why I don't always carry my purse with me, but I leave my purse in here. Got extra Kleenexes, extra bags, if you have to do grocery shopping when you're out. This is a car kit. It's got like jumper cables. And then let's see, for women, I mean, Justin, this might be helpful for you depending on if you have to carry a lot of things on you. I got me a fanny pack. And so I don't have to take my purse all the time. I have my fanny pack, which, I keep my cigarettes in, I keep my checkbook and stuff like that. So, this is what I keep in my trunk. If I need a jacket at night when it starts getting cooler, I just, keep everything in the trunk. Extra bag for like bottles, recyclables, that sort of thing. Because sometimes if passengers are drinking, the waters and whatnot, they'll leave empty bottles in your car. Okay, so let me turn that back around. Yeah, okay. So, gotta turn the air conditioning back on. Okay, so that's how I've decked out my car for the ride sharing business. You can certainly, depending on what little cubbies you have in your car, you can be creative and do according to how you want to do it. And you guys heard, okay, they follow the GPS on their phone, and those were two passengers that I had yesterday, picking up, or let's see, what was it? Picking up or I was dropping off for the fireworks, and they left their phone in the car, and so I just kept it here. And when you do have a passenger that leaves something in your car, sometimes they won't notify you. I've had people leave their keys and they still have not. They've never reported it. I mean, I'm hanging on to it for a little bit longer. They're supposed to notify in the app, so periodically, if somebody does leave something, go through your daily rides, and they're supposed to notify. Or if you remember, because I couldn't remember, I had so many passengers last night, I couldn't remember which one it was. If you do remember, then you can notify Uber or Lyft, and they'll contact the passenger. Now, I had another person leave their phone, and this was like really, really neat, because he was a veteran of World War II, and he was calling his phone from home, and I had just dropped him off, and then his phone rings, and I was like, oh, he left his phone. And he's the one that said, look me in the eye, and instead of saying thank you for keeping us safe, he's like, say thank you for keeping me safe. And I told him, that I'd be back in a couple of hours because I had to pick Jordan up from the movies. And he gave me a $20 cash tip for that. Plus, if you return something, Uber or Lyft will pay you $15 for the return. So I'll have to I don't know if I'll remember which one it is, but I'll see if I can remember, because then you can report that and you can get your $15 that way. So give me just a second. Let me put my stuff away here. Paper towels. I keep a roll of paper towels, or napkins or something. Just different things. Wipe down. Your steering wheel. If I eat in my car. If I'm eating a hamburger or something like that, the grease gets on you. That's another reason why I got the baby wipes. Is it wipes things off the steering wheel and door handles and stuff. Very, very important, Justin, to always make sure your car is like spotless, because passengers will they'll ding you on that. If your car's not spotless, I mean, it's just the way it is. Okay. So that's a little bit about what I personally do. And of course, after you've given 500, let's see, is it 500 rides or is it 250? It's one or the other. After you've given 250 rides on Lyft, they will send you this amp. Okay, now the battery in it sucks. It really, really sucks. You will lose your charge in like less than 3 hours. So I keep it on a charger at all times. What this will do is, it's supposed to, the color, because it'll do different colors, it will match their app, your rider's app, and on the back, it'll say things like, it'll greet you by name. Like when you first start your car, it'll say, hello, Wendy. And then it will greet your passenger by name. And then it'll say something like, let's roll. And then halfway there, it'll say halfway there. And then there'll be a little guy that waves goodbye to them when you're almost at the destination. I really like this. I just wish that the battery that they use in this was so much better. And it comes with a little stand. It's like magnetic, and so you just you'll have this facing out, basically. So I have that. Okay, now I didn't show you. I mean, my husband got creative. I guess let me go ahead and show you. I don't know how creative you are, Justin, but what he did, let me just show you really quick. He made these signs for both of us. He basically he got plexiglass, and underneath here it's like an LED light. And you just turn it on at night, or like early in the morning when it's still dark, and then it lights up the whole sign. So we've got that for the back, and then we have this for the front, because I've got the amp there, and so this one lights up when it's dark out. So that's what we do, just to make things as nice looking as possible. Okay, let me turn this back here. Okay. Ask Justin if you have questions. Let me see what all you put in here. Okay, so oops. Yeah, definitely sign up for Lyft, because when I first started, I only drove for Lyft because I had such problems getting signed on with Uber. But then after about 2 months, I was having too much downtime where I'm just sitting and so me and my husband were like, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and drive for Uber. Now, I don't know what your market is like out there, but there's days I barely get any Lyft rides, and it's all Uber. Okay, but you'll be able to see, and you'll just kind of have to feel around. I drive. I mean, since I got my own car and I don't have to share a car with Robert anymore, I've been allowing myself to sleep in the morning, because I worked until midnight last night. I was so tired when I got home. I just went, straight to bed. And then I woke up about 8 this morning and, woke up and got around. And so I'll at least get the afternoon rush hour, which is usually between like 3 and 7. And then I get some of, the nighttime rush. It's a Friday night, so I'll probably be busy tonight. But I won't work past midnight, because I don't want to deal with the bad drunks. My husband's dealt with some of them that they can be extremely rude when they're drunk. But since you're a man, I guess I'll go ahead and show you this. A passenger gave this to me, and I was very, very appreciative. Mace. Okay. You can buy mace online. I keep it on me at all times. I haven't had to use it. I mean, I pray to God I never have to use it. Some drivers will have tasers, but just to be on the safe side, you probably would want to get some mace as well. You just and spray. But yeah, so that's my mace. And I keep it in my fanny pack. I just. Okay. So good thing that you've got a dollar store. Okay, so you won't have to worry about, the smoking thing, since you're not a smoker. Right, you don't want to allow passengers to smoke in your car. No, do not allow that, because it will stink up your car. And I probably need to go to vaping, because sometimes, even though I'm outside and I keep my door closed, probably just because I'm a smoker, it's probably, on my clothes to some degree. I haven't gotten too many complaints about, the car smelling like smoke, but that's why I have the Ozium. And I have the Febreze, and that's just for anyone who is smokers. Okay. Yes, and it was my CDs that was in the back. I have 3 finished albums, almost ready to be finishing up the 4th one. Danny's helping me with that. We're working on a song. He's laying his vocals. The song is called Return of the King. He wrote the entire music for this one. I didn't do anything, but I wrote the words, and I came up with the melody to the music that he wrote. And so we're doing it as a duet style. And then I have one more song to write for my youngest son, then the album is done. And so my goal is to be all done with the album and have it all finished and like out there or whatever, by the end of the year. But it may end up being like the 1st of next year, because I just have to have time enough to be home to do things. Oh, and Danny is doing the graphics for the front and back. He already got the front done. He's just awesome. He really, really is. I could not be this far in my music if it weren't for Danny. Okay, let's see. And so I was like, yeah, and I give my music away, like when I get orders off of my website or eBay. I always give one of my CDs away. And any of the bigger car washes that you have will have some kind of a monthly deal. It'll be like unlimited for probably less than $20. Okay. Floor mats, towels. Okay. I'm glad you didn't have any problems with Uber. With me, the only problem that we had was we had just paid our registration, but it wasn't showing that it was active for like another month, and we didn't save the current one that still showed that month, and so they wouldn't let us on, and we got mad and we're like, okay, well, we're just gonna go to Lyft, and they didn't even ask for the registration. So oh, what is on my CDs? My own music that I've written. All of my music is on my channel under the playlist. I believe I titled it Professional Cover Songs. All of my original music is there. Oh no, my music. No, there's nothing profane. There's nothing profane. It's all Christian songs, and the ones that I've done for my children is all Christian themed and based. Like even though my fourth album isn't done, The Wolf and the Lamb is in that playlist. Everything from the fourth album thus far is there in the playlist. Yes, absolutely. You are more than welcome to make, give away my CDs. That would be awesome. I would be really, really honored. I'm trying to think of what I could do. I could send you I could send you the files, or probably what you could do is just download the songs, and then I use Movie Maker, and there's a way that you can take a video and just convert it to audio, to like an MP3, and then in your burning software. Well, go to my website, www.lovescreation.net, and you'll see my albums, and then that way you'll see, which order they're in. But I can send you the Word documents for like the album cover and stuff like that, because I also include. It's very similar to this. This is like my brochure for my business, but each album has like this going over everything within the album, like the inspiration, why I wrote the song the way I did, that sort of thing. So, I mean, if you're really interested in doing that, I can send you all of that. You just print it off. You can let me know. But yeah, I'll send you the files. That's not a problem at all. Okay, now Afshin is, I mean, he's and I'm kind of like, oh, this is a big responsibility. I'm like the official distributor for California for his Saved magazine. Because he watched the video where I gave that magazine away, and so he has shipped a box of magazines to me. I'm giving him a donation every month to help his ministry, and I will keep a few in my car. And you do have to be careful, Justin, because you can't discriminate. You'll get gay people in your car, okay? You'll get them probably every week. You have to treat them like you would treat anybody else. And so with what happened with that one man who said that he saw Moloch and everything, I just knew inside that that's what God wanted me to do, that I was supposed to give that magazine. And so I will be leaving magazines around, like, if I have to go to the grocery store or something like that, I can leave them in the shopping carts. I will have them in my car. God will tell me, when do you need to give this person, one of the magazines. And what I do as far as witnessing, like my business stuff, anybody goes to my website, they hear the music playing right away. They read anything about my website, they're going to know instantly I'm a Christian. I have scripture verses. I have my songs playing. Yes, I'm selling products that I make, obviously, but it's all dedicated to Jesus Christ. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it weren't for His grace. And so what I usually do as far as witnessing in the car, I have to be better about praying silently for every passenger that gets in. I heard a testimony on Caleb, another rideshare driver called in, and they had her, what she said, play, to everyone. And she said that she hands out little cards, and this is something you could do, Justin, if you feel comfortable with it. Little cards that says something like, let's see, how was it? During your ride, you have been specifically prayed for. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. I mean, you could make up your own thing. And I thought, wow, and she only played Caleb. Now, I'm sure you probably have Caleb. I mean, I know Caleb is in the Dallas area. They probably have other Christian stations. Air One might be there. I also have Air One here. I think they're like Caleb affiliate. Now, I do have other stations programmed, because every now and then, I mean, even if your rule for you in your car is, I'm only going to play a Christian radio station, or maybe you want to play some Christian CDs or something. I mean, heck, if you want to play my CDs, I mean, you're more than welcome to do that. You will have, every now and then, people say, hey, can you play such and such a station? I don't deny them that. I'll play what station they want, even if it's offensive to me. I'll keep my mouth shut, honestly, and that's going to be a personal thing for you. But most people will be respectful of you, because they realize it's your car, even though they're paying for your services. It is your car. It's your car, your rules. Now, yesterday, one of my last fares of the night, I had Caleb on, and I had mine at like a volume 7, which is low, but still loud enough that I can hear the words. The guy asked me to turn up the radio, and he's like, yeah, that's Caleb. I really like Caleb. And so I cranked it up, and I don't get to do that very often. And so that was kind of nice. And then another set of men, I do believe that they were homosexuals. One of them recognized that it was Caleb, and he asked me where I went to church, and I said, oh well, I said I go to church online. I have some friends that I fellowship with, and we do Google Hangouts quite a lot. And he said that he went to like a Methodist church or something, but just the way that the two men in the back seat were talking to each other, I could tell that they were homosexuals. But I didn't say anything negative against homosexuality. I mean, they probably figured, because that's what the Bible is against it, and so when I get passengers that I can tell are, homosexuals, or, any of the LGBTQ, sorry, I'm catching up. I just I'm kind, and I'm, it's like I'm always praying for an open door. Sometimes, women will be like, "Oh, I'm so glad, that I got a female driver," and they might talk about maybe some bad experiences that they've had. Um, and sometimes they'll ask me, well, aren't you afraid to, be picking up strangers? And then that's kind of like an open door, and I can say, well, I do use common sense. Yes, I have mace, and um, but then see, that's an open door, and I can say, um, you know, I put my life in God's hands, and I just pray, Lord, keep me safe, and 10 years ago, you never catch me dead doing this. There's just no way. I mean, I still won't pick up strangers, that are, hitchhiking, but I look at this differently, because they're paying for the service. This is like well, I'm no different than a taxi driver. I just don't have the TNC license. That's the only difference. So yeah, you use your common sense. God will absolutely give you open doors to just be able to share some little thing about your faith, and you'll be able to put things out there as like what I call little feelers. And then if they kind of take take the bait, then you can expound more. You will get all different types of riders in the car. You will get those that they're just on their phone. They bring their own earbuds because they don't want to hear your music. You always confirm with them that you have the right passenger. I'm trying to be better about not just, saying, "Hi, Justin," because yeah, you can get some people that will try to scam. So you could say things like, "What's your driver's name?" Or you could say, "What is your name?" And if it doesn't match up, then you could be like, "Well, that's not the name that I have." And it could be that somebody else has ordered a ride for them. And so you can kind of play around with the wording on that. And then I always confirm before I start driving the destination, the address. I'll be like, "I just want to confirm I'm taking you to 123 Main Street," because there's been several times I'm reading off the address and they're like, "No, that's not correct." And I think they put something in and it like links up to their phone or something like that. So just always double check, make sure that you have the correct destination. You will get people that will add a stop. It's called adding a stop. They just go into the app and they add an extra stop. Maybe they want to stop at 7-Eleven and they want to buy something. You never ever allow anyone to have any open containers of alcohol in your car. That's against the law. Okay. If you would be picking up somebody from the bar, and you see that they've got anything, you have to double check, make sure that it's not alcohol. Don't let them in your car. Just say, "I'm sorry, you have to dump that out, or you can't. I can't take you." My car cannot fit any more than 4 passengers. 1 passenger for each seat belt. If now I haven't had to refuse a ride to somebody because they had more than 4. But you may get that in Dallas. You be firm. You put your foot down and say, "I'm sorry, it's against the law. 1 passenger per seat belt. I can only fit 4." Unaccompanied minors, Justin. I mean, don't do it. Don't do it. If you need to, ask for their ID. There's been a few times I've let it slide. I mean, I guess use your best judgment on that. But under 18 is not allowed on the platforms. And just tell them, I'm sorry. Under 18 is not allowed unless an adult or a parent is with you. And if you need to, go ahead and call the parent and just tell them, I'm sorry, I cannot take your child. Under 18 is not allowed. It's right in the user policy. They don't have an excuse, honestly. And yeah, I realize that they're gonna do anything to get you to take them. They'll be like, well, I've had Uber drivers or Lyft drivers, they've taken me before. Stick to your guns and just say, well, you know what, they're breaking the platform policy. You could be deactivated. You don't want to be deactivated. And child seats. I have had to cancel, and this irks me really bad. I get really mad when women either have babies or toddlers, under 8, they're supposed to be in a child seat or a booster seat. Do not. Just, that's one thing I don't budge on that. I may budge a little bit on the unaccompanied minor. If they're almost 18, I might budge a little bit on that, although I shouldn't. But car seats, no. I tell them, I'm sorry, I can't. You either have to have a booster seat, or all they have is like their stroller and they want to hold their baby on their lap. No, I don't care if I'm going a block. I will not do it. And I get so mad at these women, and I report every single one of them, and I'm like, to me, that's irresponsible parenting, to put your child in danger like that. I'm a safe driver. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as far as the rules of the road, but I'm always having to look out for the other driver. So never ever take children unless they have the car seat or a booster seat. Okay, Justin. Okay. Yeah, no open containers. If they have a soda or an energy drink or a coffee, that's okay. But now that's still going to be your rule, your car. Now, I allow people to have, soda or coffee or something, because I'm sure your car has cup holders for your passengers, but alcohol, absolutely not. Oh, and seat belts. Now, I'm not good at enforcing this in the back seat. In the front seat, absolutely. I'll tell people, oh, I'm sorry, need to have you buckle up. I should be having everyone buckle in the back, because when me and my husband, we looked up the law for California. They're supposed to be buckled in the back. I will get a ticket, and they will get a ticket if I get stopped. So I need to be better at making them buckle in. So yeah, don't allow any more than what is fits in your car for a car seat or for a seat belt. Oh yeah, you definitely don't want any underage drinking in your car, Justin. Oh, that would be bad, because you would be held responsible. Not only would you get banned and deactivated, you could go to jail for that. Don't allow any of your siblings in your car. Stop it. Yeah, stop. Don't do that. You just no drinking, and if you want to, you could just have a no drinking period rule. You don't allow anyone to bring any kind of beverage into your car. I don't personally go that far, but it is your car, your rules, and I think how you explained what your car looks like, it's a new car. And you want to keep it as nice looking as possible. Now, if somebody would spill something in your car or make a mess, Uber and Lyft will make you get an estimate from a licensed car cleaning company. The man that got feces on my seat in the Yaris, they let me slide on that one, but they let me know next time if something happens, because they can be charged up to $250 if they mess up your car. You take pictures of it, and you report it. But now they're going to make you get a car cleaning estimate. Yeah, that's going to be, because they're not going to want you to give any more rides until the mess is cleaned up. Now you may choose, okay, I'm not going to go through this hassle. I'll just clean it up myself. That's totally up to you. But if it's really bad, like there was feces on the seat, okay, we cleaned it ourselves because we had professional grade stuff. But see, they charged the passenger that did that $75, and then that was given to me. But I'm supposed to have a receipt from a licensed dealer that details cars. So that's something I have to keep in mind. And you want to take pictures right away if something happens. That's why I usually don't get a lot of people eating in the car. Every now and then, somebody's, like finishing a donut or a sandwich or something like that. That's going to be up to you too if you want people to be eating and drinking in your car. Hey, Bill, I'm helping Brother Justin get up to speed because he is now a rideshare driver like I am, and we are ride sharing for Jesus. Praise God. Okay, so let me go back and talk about, okay, because basically we're ride sharing for Jesus. Okay, we're ride sharing for Jesus. We are being salt and light to a lost world. And what you will find, and it's probably going to grieve you inside, Justin, is while we know that the majority of the world is lost and are not going to be saved, you will become acutely aware of this. You will hear bad language in your car. To the best of your ability, try to tune that out. And just remember, you are salt and light. You are salt and light. I'm always praying, Jesus, don't let them see Wendy. Let them see Jesus Christ in me. Oh yeah, talk to your brother. Tell him that he can't be drinking, especially not drinking underage, and make sure he understands that him and his friends could get the Uber or Lyft driver deactivated, because if they'd be pulled over and they'd see that it's underage drinkers, that's not good. That's not good. And that's something I need to keep in mind too. So yeah, so we are salt and light, and what I have found is just the amount of people that don't know Jesus is it's astounding. And so I know God's using me right where I'm at, and he's the one that opened the door. Okay. Oops. Oh, your brother assaulted you? And he's underage? Well, keep your distance, set your boundaries. Don't let him, walk on you. I mean, I've had that same situation with my sister. Yeah, he's 18. He's a legal adult. He can legally ride by himself in Uber or Lyft, but he's still underage as far as the drinking laws, the alcohol laws. But yeah, just know God's going to use you, Justin. And I'm not sure, what happened with you and Afshin. But I do definitely feel that I am supposed to, I'm going to pass out his magazines, because it's not about Afshin. It's about the gospel. It's about getting the truth out there. And so, because I disagree with Afshin on some things, but I know he has the right gospel. And And so God will definitely will lead me when I am to give out his magazines. And so I'll probably just keep the box of magazines in my trunk, honestly. And when you get airport rides, you might have to, whatever you do hold in your trunk, you might have to, move that around a little bit. Okay, trying to think, because I do need to get going here to work. I hope that I covered some basic things for you, Justin, that will be helpful for you in ride sharing. I hope I've helped. A lot of it is going to be just, go in your own individuality. God's made you a unique person. You have unique likes and dislikes, just like I do. And as far as other channels, other rideshare channels out there, Dustin is driving is really good. He's not saved though, okay? But he does give very good, helpful information just for the rideshare business itself. Just understand you're going to hear some language if you watch some of his videos. The rideshare professor is another one that I watch sometimes. And when you have passengers in your car, pray for them. Pray that God will either use the music that you're listening to, or that God will open up a door that you can at least say something, even if it's just to plant a seed, because then God will send somebody else in to start watering that seed. But God will absolutely use you, Justin. And when are you going to officially start driving? Because I know you're all ready to go on Uber. I mean, get your stuff in for Lyft. Did you have to go down to a hub? Did they have to inspect your car there in Dallas? Because we had to take it. It's called a green light hub. Oh, you didn't? Okay, because see, here in Sacramento, they check to make sure that you have all the seat belts, and they check to make sure your lights work and your blinkers work and all of that. But every city is different. So then you're good to go. You could start driving today. Don't be scared. I was like really intimidated at first. I'm like, I like delayed myself 4 days because I'm like, am I going to understand the app? There should be tutorials on how to do it. You basically just get started. You learn as you go. You will make mistakes. Just be honest with your passengers. Just say, hey, I'm a brand new driver. And most people will be really kind to you. Now, Lyft, at least I know here, you'll have to see, Lyft may require you to come in, but Lyft also has, and I don't know if they have it there, but they have like this little training thing where I could have gotten paid to drive a Lyft driver, like a regular fare, but it's a Lyft driver or it's a Lyft employee. And then any questions you have, to make sure I understand the app and everything, how to find things in the app. They have that option here in Sacramento. You might see if Lyft has something like that, because then you get paid for the training. And it's basically, one ride. It's just a Lyft employee, and you can ask whatever questions you have. Otherwise, just get out there and do it. Don't think about it. Don't be intimidated. Don't be scared. You will do fine. Any mistakes that you make along the way, you'll make mistakes. I have. Be really careful. Go slower than you normally would. Just look at it like, I've got, these souls on board. I brake really, really easy. I mean, when I'm driving just by myself or I got my kids in the car, I'm like, but when I've got customers in the car, I'm braking really, really easy. And I'm starting up really slow, so it's not like, like that, because they'll notice that, and so depending on how your car does with that, just little things, thinking in the eyes of a passenger. And I haven't done this either, but it might be good for you to download the passenger apps on both. Go a short distance, be a passenger, see how the drivers handle you as a passenger, if that makes sense. But I think you'll be fine. Oh, good, you're practicing, yeah. And maybe next time you give somebody a ride, like your mom or your dad or a friend or something, pretend they're a passenger. Ask them to role play with you, and have them, especially if they've done Uber and Lyft, have them give you feedback, okay? And have them sit in the back. Now, I don't like people, okay, this is important, and you may not care. This may not bother you. I don't like people sitting up front with me. I really don't. So my lunch bag, it's like really, really big. I have it plopped right down here on the seat, and I can't tell you how many times people see that. They're starting to head for my front seat, and they see my stuff on my seat, and they go right to the back. And you have absolutely every right. If it's just one person, now if you're ending up with a full car, yeah, you have no choice. Somebody has to sit in the front seat. But if it's just one or two people, you can kindly say, would you mind sitting in the back, please? And sometimes they'll ask you, which would you prefer? Would you like me in the front or the back? And you'll get a feel, Usually women, I don't mind sitting in the front. It's men that sometimes I have a problem with, especially if they've been drinking and they're just, yapping. One time at the airport, I saw a woman had a sign on her windshield, on the front passenger windshield, that said, please, with an arrow sign pointing in the back, to basically saying, right in the back. But I thought that was really cool. But when you're rolling down your window and stuff, that could get messed up. You can do however you want, Justin, on that. And the airport queues, you will get people that you will have to take to DFW. Now they will have their own staging lot there. They should have a map for you if you use your computer and go online. You can always send a message to support. You want to really, really pay close attention to the staging area, basically the waiting area. You will get in queue. And what I do, since I drive for both, I get in queue on both. And whoever comes through first, which it's usually Uber. There's like tons of Lyft drivers at the airport, but there's not a whole lot of Uber drivers. So Uber usually comes through first for me. Sometimes I only do the airport if I already have a passenger that that I'm taking to the airport. I never get in queue before 9 a.m. because otherwise you're just going to be waiting and waiting. If there's, even though it may say that there's like 70 people in queue, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be waiting a long time. It could be going really fast depending on, how many people keep, flying in and flying out and stuff. You'll test it a few times, and then you'll know if it's worth it for you to make use of the airport. Our airport's like way out in Timbuktu, and so I always try to go into the airport just so it helps pay my gas back into town. Okay, so mace, floor mats, towel. You just really need one blanket. Barf bags, the air freshener, lint roller, wipes, maybe a roll of paper towels that you could just, keep in the back. Or, if your paper towels at home, you're down to a half a roll, that would be good, because that's basically what this is. I mean, and it'll squish up. Energy drinks, because you're going to be gone for long periods of time. You're going to be driving for long periods of time. Expect that you will get fares that take you way out. I've had trips to the Bay. I've had trips to other places in town. Take advantage of that, because as long as you're still in Texas, you should be able to drive in any city in Texas. And different, like Houston or whatever, their rates may be different than what you're paid in Dallas. But see, if you work some of these other areas, even if you drive, an hour and a half away, like let's say you're in DFW and you get a fare to a town that's, considerably big, a bigger town, but it's like an hour and a half drive. Well, while you're there, make use of it. Work that town. Work wherever you're at, because you may be getting a higher rate, because in the San Francisco area, we get paid more. And in a couple of weeks, as long as we make sure, my car is actually fixed, in a couple of weeks, we are going down to the Bay, and we're going to work the Bay, because we get, it's a considerable difference more in pay for us. Cost of living is higher down there. You probably have carpool where you're at. We don't have carpool here in Sacramento, but in the Bay, you do. Carpool is basically, you have all different passengers. People that are going in the same general direction. You'll stop and pick up one person. Then you'll be directed by navigation to pick up, the second person, up to four people. And basically, I think what they do is they share the cost amongst themselves. But then you still, I don't know, honestly, if you end up getting less with carpools than you would just for regular single fares. I don't really have to deal with that. Only when I go to the Bay is when I have to deal with that. But DFW is probably a large enough city, you probably will have carpools. Let me know once you get started. What Lyft does is Lyft will stack people in queue for you. Now, this isn't carpool, okay? Let's say I've got a passenger in the car and I'm on Lyft. A little thing, it'll be like ding, 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 ding. And it'll say, one passenger has been added to your queue. They don't give me the option to accept it or decline it. Now, Uber lets me choose. It'll come through even when I've got a passenger, because it's somebody in the general direction of where the destination is. It'll come through and it will say, how many minutes to pick them up. Because I'm on Uber Pro, I get to see how long the duration is. Now, I don't know if you will be offered Uber Pro. It's offered in certain cities. You can let me know if you get Uber Pro, and then I'll explain that to you. I won't do that now, because you may not be offered it. I have it, but my husband doesn't. Go figure. I don't know why. But now you can go in and remove the stack on in Lyft, and it's not going to affect your acceptance rate. You want to, kind of be careful about that. Try to accept as many rides as you can. Lyft is supposed to be in certain cities, they're supposed to be paying you time and distance for pickup. Now, they're not doing it yet here. Find out, ask them if your area is paying for long pickups, okay? I don't do long pickups if I'm not going to get paid for it. I'm not going 20 miles or 20 minutes out of my way to pick up somebody just to find out that it's only a 5 or 10 minute fare. And you won't know how long the duration is unless you are on Uber Pro and you reach gold. You won't know, okay? You will know once you get there with Lyft. Once you click that you've arrived, Then you can click on the little picture, and it'll show you, how long the trip is. Okay. But yeah, so once you get going, let me know if you're on Uber Pro, and then I can I can go over some of that with you too. Okay. So all right, I think I'll go ahead and enter there. Yes. You can't cross states though. Okay. Like I'm close to Nevada, but in order to drive in the Nevada area, I'd have to have like a driver's license for Nevada. Every state has their own criteria that they require for rideshare drivers. But I can drive in any city in California. I mean, if I wanted to drive down for the week and drive the LA area, I could, because it's in the state of California. This should be no different in Texas. In anywhere that you're at, as long as you're within the Texas border, you'll be able to drive. But double check. You can check the rates to see if the rate in the city that you're going to be driving in is higher or lower. You can check that out. Just, play around with the app. There's a lot of links. You just kind of have to just learn as you go. I'm here to help, answer any questions. Hopefully this kind of, gets you started with, just some basic things, and just pray, honestly. God will use you, Justin. He absolutely is going to use you. And he's going to use me. I'll know when it's appropriate to hand out the saved magazines. So everyone keep me and Justin in prayer. Okay, please do, because ride sharing can be stressful, because you meet all kinds of people with all kinds of personalities, and most of them are not saved. They need Jesus Christ. So pray first and foremost that souls will get saved through this. Then pray for, our individual financial needs will be met, because God's absolutely meeting all of our needs. So, all right, guys, take care. God bless, and I will see you next time.